Now, there are a myriad of ways to measure cardiovascular intensity, and everyone wants to know when you're doing aerobic exercise, cardiovascular exercise, how hard you should be working. And there are, like I said, a myriad of ways. There's tons of ways you can measure that. You can do heart rate, you can do talk test, you can do rating of perceived exertion. One thing I want you to think about is what I call the 5 zones of cardio. There are other versions of this, but this is the one that I use. So these zones, what are they? Zone 1 is resting. Zone 5 is sprinting. I did a blog post about this on my blog the other day about the zones of cardio. But one being resting would be sitting. I'm at zone 1 right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking. Zone 5 would be sprinting, as hard as you could possibly sprint. And you could not sprint longer than 10 to 20 seconds, usually about 10 seconds max at full speed. But somewhere in between, zone 2, 3, and 4, that's where you want to be doing your aerobic exercise, especially zone 3 and 4. So how does that work? 2 is a very light, easy pace. Okay, you could easily talk, you could have a conversation about the meaning of life while you're doing zone 2 cardio. Okay. Now, zone 3 and 4, those are the sweet spots. Now, what I'd recommend doing is spending most of your time in zone 3. You know, if you had to communicate in zone 3, you could, but it's difficult to carry on a conversation. Zone 4, you could not carry on a conversation. You know, you might be able to say a few words or something, but that's an interval. It's really hard, breathing hard and heavy. Excuse me. Zone 5, again, is sprinting. Zone 2 is very easy activity. Zone 3, a little harder. You could talk, but it's hard. So when you do your steady state cardio, which is done to build up lung capacity, mitochondria, capillary density, a variety of other things, I want you to be in zone 3. That's your sort of moderately hard, sort of jogging, that kind of thing. Those type of aerobic workouts. Those are great. I do those every week. Excuse me. But zone 4, that's where your intervals are, okay? So zone 4 is where you go up to when you do interval training, because this is a level that you could not sustain, okay? Zone 4 is a level you could not sustain. Now, I don't want to complicate things more than necessary, but zone 4 is where you get into something called the lactate threshold. And that's when lactic acid starts to accumulate in your blood and in your muscles and starts to cause fatigue. But when you train for aerobic exercise to build up your heart, your lungs, and to really improve your cardiovascular system, I want you to stay in zone 3 and 4. Okay? Zone 3 for steady state, zone 3 and 4 for intervals. You kind of toggle back and forth between zone 3 and 4. If you want to learn more about that, send me a message, comment on the video, or check my blog. But that's the very basic thing that I use. Zone 1 through 5, 1 rest, 5 sprinting, 2 easy, 3 and 4 is where the sweet spots are between steady state and intervals. Okay? Give it a try. Let me know what you think. If it's not safe for you, make sure you talk to your doctor and figure out the best thing for you if you're curious if it's safe or not. But ScottGodwin.net, like, subscribe, share the videos. We do fitness, nutrition, wellness. We do food, movement, and the good life. Talk to you soon.